is an extraordinary visionary in the area of DevOps, enterprise portfolio management, program and PMO consulting. He is the CEO of Excellentro Consulting Services LLP India and Excellentro Pte Limited Singapore. And he is the man behind the largest DevOps event in India, the DevOps India Summit. Yes, everyone, he is the reason that we all are connected together at this very moment. Our expert joins us today to walk us through on why should tech leaders keep up with the ever-changing expectations of the customer and adopt new ways of working to become business leaders. Adding some vibrant vibes in the house today, let us now welcome with our happiest smiles the one and only Dr. Niladri Choudhuri.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. From wherever you are there and joined for the DevOps India Summit Conference for the 5th year. I am Dr. Niladri Choudhuri, CEO of Excellentro India and Singapore, and the Chief Organizer for DevOps India Summit. And we are also going to start DevOps Asia Summit on the 10th of February, which will be hybrid and the physical location in Singapore. Today's topic that I am going to talk about is how the business leaders needs to change their way of working. And agenda that we have, the need, why we need it, the challenges, the traits of the business technology leader, and the solution. If you look at the Carlota Perez, the British Venezuelan economic researcher, she says we are in a time of great peril and great opportunity as we are in the middle of the 5th industrial revolution. Now, as per her, the socio-economic need changes, and that gives rise to need for change in technology. And when technology changes, that further initiates the process of change of socio-economic needs. Earlier, we were doing things in a particular way. Today, we do it differently. Today, we do not buy a song, we buy a musical experience. Today, we don't buy a phone, we buy a communication experience. Today, we don't buy the ride of a taxi, but we buy the travel experience. So the need has changed. The way to address that change is also different. That is how we are looking at, right? So with this scenario, we have to see how we are able to handle it. Because today, our leaders, as I see, are still practicing the traditional way of doing things. There are some organizations where this has changed and they are doing better. But if we all have to survive, we have to change our way of doing it. In McKinsey's 2018 IT strategy survey, they say that 79% of the organizations who have pursued the digitization are still in the early stages of technology transformation. So there's a long way to go. Now, why do we need to change? The first is because IT is no longer a cost center. IT is business. We are not trying to save some cost. Cost definitely is a factor, but it is not the primary concern. Today's concern is survival of the business. Today's concern is how we are going to compete against our competitors. And these competitors are no longer a big company. So a big company is not fighting with another big company. The big company is fighting with a nimble, agile organization who can take decisions, who can quickly bring new features which customers want fast. They don't take long time to take decisions. They can deliver in the best quality faster. Now we have to change that. If you look at the way that organizations are doing business on the online, we see that there's a huge amount of business that happens every minute. As per Gartner, we see that the minimum cost of 1 hour of outage is around $140,000 and maximum is $540,000, whereas the average is $300,000. Now, are we going to save that $300,000, which is 100% probability, or are we going to try and save some few thousands or $100,000 of cost by taking some steps which are not really the best for the organization? I've seen organizations putting freshers in the group to do things as billable resource. And the basic reason for that is to make it profitable. But does it really make the organization profitable? We need to get our things, our services done as per the requirement of the customer. And we see that requirements are not clearly defined. They are evolving. Customers are also thinking, what more can be done? Customers do not know what they want. Customers know their business problem. We need to collaboratively work to give that. So that traditional approach doesn't work here. We have different personas using the same service, using the same system, but in a different manner. The expectations are different. We cannot give a one-size-fits-all service. Technology is evolving. We are looking at certain technology. We are looking at now AI, ML, data science. And then now, today, we are looking at metaverse. We are looking at Web 3.0. We are looking at use of AR, VR. How to use that? Now, when technology is changing, when customers' expectations are changing, we cannot have a fixed mindset of building something and delivering. We need to change that mindset. We need to understand what is best for both the parties. And that has to be done in a manner so that it helps both. The scale and the speed of change is rapid. What our competitors are bringing in, what our customers are expecting, what technology is coming today, all of these are having a huge speed increase. And we have to adapt to that speed. Now, leaders have not understood, and they are also not agreeing to the fact that they need to look beyond cost and productivity responsibility. They are no longer technology leaders trying to solve some technology problems. They are now business leaders, and their requirement, their responsibility is to deliver business outcomes. So that there has to be a change in the way of thought process, the way they act, the way they do their things. So they have to think in terms of the business value that the IT is delivering. Now, once we have these why, what are the challenges? From my experience, I think the first biggest challenge is the organization silos. We have large organizations. We have large departments, hundreds of people working Java developers, hundreds of people working as .NET developers, Python developers, a lot of people working just for Oracle database administration. A lot of people are working for SQL Server database administration. But remember Conway's law. The structure of the delivery design of the delivery will be the design of the communication and information flow that happens. So with these big organizations, we cannot break things into smaller pieces. It is no rocket science to understand that a 50 lines of code will be easier to write, to make changes, to find a problem than a 50,000 lines of code. A 50 line of code, if thrown away, is less expensive than 50,000 lines of code being thrown away. When we are trying to do things faster, we have to break into smaller pieces of work, which requires our organization design to be also suitable for it. A big team will always think of their area of work as a big chunk of work. Earlier, as you saw, that large chunks of work used to come and get delivered over a large period of time. Today, small pieces of work has to be delivered every day frequently, and many are coming together at the same time. So we need to create, as John Cotter's dual operating system, as he calls it, that we can have the functional organization, but we also need the network to deliver that particular value in a value stream. So organizational silos becomes a big challenge. And along with that, what comes up is the incentive for motivating the people. The incentives are different for different groups. Developers are evaluated in a particular manner. Testers are evaluated in a particular manner. Security experts are evaluated in a particular manner. This will not work. Everybody has one common shared objective to deliver good quality products and services faster and secure. And everybody has to be evaluated on the basis of that. It's a team game. Either you have done it as a team or you have not done it as a not as an individual. The next that comes up is the framework silos. We are all used to different frameworks like ITIL, Scrum, SAFe, and many others. The question here is the frameworks are good. How we implement it, how we understand and use it in our way is what is important. If we tie the how to do things from the framework with the objective that we have, then things will work. Today, what is happening is most of the organizations are getting tied to those frameworks. They are much more becoming stringent in just following word to word what is written without understanding the basic premise of things. We need to work together, bring all those frameworks together. You need agility for faster delivery. You need agile for the IT service management related areas. You need lean to increase the flow of work. But you need to work of all these things together, not as silos. You have seen in organizations, the same organization has a agile initiative, has a DevOps initiative, has an SRE initiative. Are these initiatives different in terms of objectives? No. The next important aspect that I see is the disconnect between the strategy and execution level. The business has its business strategic objectives, and we have the execution, which is happening at the bottom. The execution is looking at certain way of doing things, but that does not get aligned to the strategic objective. If this alignment is not there, then whatever we are delivering may not be something which is useful. It is like spending money on mutual funds and stocks, which you know is not going to grow. That middle layer does not really help in connecting between the strategic layer and the execution layer. That is again another challenge that we see today. There is obviously resistance to move to new technology. We want to do things the way that we have done. That requires us to change our mindset as well as learn. We have to spend a lot of time and effort in learning. Learning has to be a very, very primary focus for any organization. And obviously, it has to come down from the senior leaders. The processes we use are tuned to our older ways of working, those monolithic work, those large chunks of work which comes in a large interval of time. The processes are suitable to look at only cost aspect. The processes are suitable for a situation where there is a lot of clear understanding of requirements, not for the current evolutionary situation. And finally, the skills. The skill shortage is very, very strong. We have people who knows only the tools part of it, but do not understand in entirety neither the domain nor the systems. We cannot deliver better quality product and service if we do not understand where my work fits in the whole scheme of things. So people skill mismatch is strong. And Unfortunately, the leaders till now has been focusing only on some tools expertise, nothing beyond. We need to change those. So let us look at what the business technology leader, as I call them, should be having. First is we are in a evolutionary transformation scenario. If we are in the evolutionary transformation scenario, we need to have transformational leaders. The concept is not new. The concept has been very old. We do not just look at the scenario of facilitating some people like a servant leader. That's just one aspect. They have to have clear vision. They should be able to motivate the people to achieve that vision. Yes, they have to facilitate the people. They have to focus on how they can make the people happy to get what the organization needs. It's not just about organization. So we have heard about people talking about people, process, and technology. So all the three needs to be looked at. Happiness has to be there even for the people, not just only delivery focus. To do that, they have to be change champions. They need to bring in change in themselves first, find out better ways of doing things in their way of working, and then spread it across the whole organization and champion those changes so to achieve the goal that we are trying to look at. They have to be people focused. Humans are not machines. They cannot be treated as resources. Humans are capital. Humans are much, much more capable. So we need to, as leaders, think how to upskill, cross-skill them, to make them do things which only they can do, not machines, and let machines do what they want. They have to be culture revolutionists. And as we know that we cannot change culture, we can change behavior, and behavior becomes culture. So many times we have said, and we have also heard, that this is how we do things here. That this is how we do things here is the culture which has come from that collective behavior of people. So we need to start looking at the culture change. We need to change things like psychological safety. We have to bring in psychological safety. We have to make people to feel okay if something breaks, because by breaking things, we learn from that. No technology, no framework can guarantee that by using that, everything will be perfect and correct. No failure will happen. That guarantee nobody can give. So let us accept that failure will happen. Let us accept that things will go wrong. The point is, things should not go wrong the same way the second time. Then there is no learning. Identity is a system of systems. It's becoming more and more complex. So the more the complexity, the more chances of failure. So we have to get ready for that. Those are kind of culture changes that we need to work on as leaders. And they need to be technology enthusiasts. We hear people talking about hands-on. Hands-on doesn't mean that a leader has to sit and code, but the leader should understand the domain. The leader should understand the IT system, how in entirety it works. As I said, the traditional way of looking things is more people management for leaders rather than technology. And that's what we see in most organizations. The leaders are looking at people management, productivity, billability. No, they have to start understanding the system per se. We don't need management here. We have to trust our people. They are capable. We have to facilitate them to make sure that they can do their job properly. We have to, as leaders, focus what new technology is coming, how we can use technology to things better. How can we use technology along with our processes to make sure that it is seamless and it's easy to work on and deliver in this fast-paced world? Those are the kind of traits that we expect with a leader. So what is the solution? So the first thing is we have to understand and accept the role of technology in business. Technology is not something separate than business. Technology is an enabler to the business. The need of technology is there because business is there. And without technology today, business cannot even survive. We, as technology leaders, have to make sure that we are working hand in hand with the business to deliver something which will help the business to grow. And this requires us to have an innovative mindset. Innovative mindset is about innovation in every aspect. We have to see how technology can help in innovation. We have to move from a building mindset to a learning mindset because innovation is about learning new things. It is about experimentation. We have to focus and try doing a lot of experimentation. It's not just doing the same day-to-day work over and over again. For that, we have machines. We have to use the machines to do it. We have to make the machines work for us, not the other way around. Today, we work for the machines. We are running when there is a pager call. And that's where SRE kind of approach comes into play. So we need to look at innovation from the customer's point of view. How we can collaboratively work with the customer, understand their business problem, and deliver something which helps us grow the business. Imagine the amount of data that we have in IT about the customer's experience, about the customer's journey of how they are using our system. Can we use that? Can we use new technology like AI ML to throw out insights which we can give to our business to help in them deciding a better feature? We know that 1/3 of the features that is being provided are something which customer likes. There is another 1/3 which customer neither likes or dislikes. And there is 1/3 where customer dislikes the new features that we provide. Are we going to look at that 33% probability of something might be liked? Or should we try to help and improve? These are the reasons why approaches like DevOps helps, because there we are talking about our definition of done, not complete, till it is actually tested by actual users in production environment. We are getting the direct feedback of the customers before we are actually deploying it to everyone. And even before that, we are giving those insights to our business to come out with new features. We have to understand that holistic customer persona journeys, value delivery, and that is not possible to be done for hundreds and thousands of systems that each one of us are working on. We have to limit that. We have to now move into a scenario of value stream teams, product teams, where the team is end-to-end responsible for a particular value stream, for a particular product. That way, 5, 6 applications, each one of us can know in details. We have to focus on that. So we have to have the holistic view of the customer persona journeys. We have to have the holistic view of the entire IT system and understand where our work, my particular work fits in. We have to experiment and learn. We have to have clear, defined time given to everybody to experiment and learn. So as a leader, I need to give time to myself for experimenting and learning in my area of work. And I need to give that time for the entire team who are working, for them to experiment and learn. If we do not experiment, if we do not learn. If we do not learn, we do not know the way the things has to change. What do we need to do differently to do better? As leaders, we have to be more technology agnostic and move away from just people management. We need to understand what the technology is used for, how it is used for, not from the management point of view, but from actually how it works in delivering value to the customer or for the business. So as leaders, we have to learn more on technology, on the new ways of working. We have to move from project to product approach. I talked about the value stream team, the product team. We need people to be responsible for all types of work, new features, incident, planned work, unplanned work, all the four types of work for that specific application or the set of applications should be done by that specific cross-functional, cross-skilled team. In Agile, we talk about a self-organized team. We talk about autonomous team. We have to have that. And to have that, we need to also refactor the technical debts and re-architect our system to make it mostly loosely coupled. Because if there are dependencies, this cannot work. So we have to remove dependencies. That means each one of us has to spend time on refactoring and re-architecting. So again, the leaders have to give time to the teams to do this refactoring, re-architecting work. So we have to have time for work of delivery. We have to have time for refactoring and re-architecting to make things better. And we have to have time for experimentation and learning. And that way, if you look at a breakup of 50% of the time, that is 2 weeks in a month, any person should be spending on committed work, 1 week for experimentation and learning, and 1 week for refactoring and re-architecting, then things moves. So leaders have to understand that and help and facilitate such happening. We need to do value stream management because it is a journey of continuous improvement and experimentation. So we have to look at the entire value stream and see how we can keep improving and what needs to be done. So we can always use the Toyota Kata, the vision, the current state, define the short-term target, do the plan to check active or OODA loop to achieve that short-term target. It becomes your current state, move, and that for specific value streams. We don't change the whole organization at the same time. Gradually, every value stream will work, and that will make the entire organizations to do things differently. We already have seen that security is important. So we need to implement DevSecOps in the right manner, not just using some tools. Tools has to be looked at as an enabler. Let's focus now on delivery of value, not just having some tools improving cost or productivity kind of thing. Let's focus on the customer, really on the customer experience, on delivering of value. We need DevSecOps. We need to break work into smaller pieces, as it says. We need collaborative working of everybody having the common shared objective. We need the dev and ops to work together and ops to bring that understanding or wisdom of production throughout the entire delivery life cycle, not just some automation. Yes, automation is important, but look at those basic concepts, understanding of continuous delivery, continuous deployment, continuous security. Then we actually get results. As a leader, we should be comfortable in our people breaking things because we know that even after breaking, we will be able to quickly get back to normal business. And by breaking, we have understood that there is a weakness before even the customer gets to know about it. That is what is important. We have to have the trust on our people. We have to have the trust on our process. We have to have the trust on our technology. We have to move from human resource to human capital. As a leader, we need to see them to be much more capable and help them to deliver more complicated things rather than doing mundane, repetitive work. And finally, as a leader, we need to look at sustainability, not only in terms of just using some sustainable hardware, but also look at sustainability at every aspect. Look at how we are coding. Are we coding, doing green coding? Is our architecture helping in having lesser energy utilization and lowering carbon footprint? how are we delivering in terms of our process, our way of working. We have to change the way of working in entirety to make it sustainable. Hope this gives you some idea about the new ways of working that is required in today's world to really deliver value to your customer, to your business. And you cannot continue to do what you are doing till now. Thanks, everyone. So, as I mentioned, we're having the DevOps Asia Summit. So, go to DevOpsAsiaSummit.com. It will be physically in Singapore and virtual all across the globe. The call for speakers are open here. You can submit your nominations.